then, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Sir Taco here with another episode of Idle and Unguided. Today we're going to be pretty much knocking out some mining and smithing. Probably getting those to, we say level 15, possibly level 15, maybe level 20, more likely level 20 or 15, sorry. Level 15 if we're being honest here. Yeah, got some interesting stuff to talk to you guys about. For the most part, the most important topic or the forefront of today's episode is going to be pretty much talking about repetition and building good habits. And I feel like mining is definitely one of those skills. I mean, you could kind of apply that to any of the skills within RuneScape that they kind of do require you to keep doing the same task over and over again. Now, whether or not some might say if that's beneficial for you in the long run is maybe that could be studied, possibly. Not entirely sure on that one, but because you're just playing RuneScape for long periods of time and you're just primarily focusing on doing the same task over and over again. But I guess it can bring benefits if you count joy. Joy is a big benefit. I think that does matter. It's a big outlet or big awesome thing that it can contribute to. So yeah, pretty much we're gonna start out pretty simple with bronze. Probably make our way to iron, so we can also make an axe for wood cutting, stuff like that. And I feel like mining and smithing are definitely gonna be some of the more important skills that we're gonna need down the road, for sure. When it comes to the overall guide of, or not guide, but the overall adventure that we're going on with Sir Skillborn. So I definitely feel like that is try my best not to say in between. I'm trying my best to like just talk fluently or fluidly. Maybe that's one term you can utilize. Not the best at talking sometimes, so. But I did it again as soon as I said I was not going to do it. That's. Yeah, I feel like mining is definitely going to be one of those things that's super important. It's going to benefit us in the long run if we get that leveled up. Mining and smithing, at least, so we can craft some stuff down the road. And like I said, wood cutting is definitely a big priority. I keep saying and I'm really trying not to. Give me 1 second though. Leo's whining. All right, sorry for that abrupt stop. I feel like Leo, and for y'all who don't know, and I'll put this picture on screen so you guys can see this majestic creature. I feel like Leo knows when I'm either recording or streaming or doing anything that involves me sitting in front of my desk and recording or doing anything speaking into my microphone. Because every time, without fail, without absolute just no rhyme or reason, he walks up to me and he starts doing his little whines, his little cry. He's a husky, by the way, as you guys can see in the photo. Probably some more photos that I'll probably show on screen now. But he just knows. Somehow, some way, he just immediately figures out he's recording. I gotta interrupt him now. Don't know why, because so in most cases, like I'll get home, I'll walk him. It's part of the routine. This is like the daily routine. But I'll get home and usually I'll walk him. I want to say like pretty long walk, so about twice in the evening. One as soon as I get home, it'll be like a nice 10-15 minute walk, and then I'll eat, do whatever I gotta do, and then I'll walk him again for another 10-15 minutes. That's usually the routine for him, and pretty happy husker after that. Come back and we'll play a rope a little bit, throw around the ropes, maybe some of his favorite toys. He's not much about fetching. He'll fetch for a little bit, and then he'll just kind of get over it, and then he'll just go back to just being a husky for the most part. I heard that's a common trait in huskies. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if it is. I don't know for sure. You should also do, if you are for sure, or maybe not, but in general, you should like the video, because that helps out a ton, and I appreciate it. Yeah, so that's like one of the good habits that I'm trying to incorporate. But every time he'll just, without fail, without rhyme or reason, dude will just, he'll just kind of walk up and just start acting up a little bit. And it's not like, he's in any pain or anything. He just wants the attention. He wants the extra loving and stuff like that. So I just don't know what it is, but maybe one day we'll figure it out. He just celebrated his birthday about 2 weeks ago, I want to say. So he's now 9 years old. He's a little old man. He ain't slowing down much. He has a little bit. I adopted him when he was 3, but absolute chill guy, adorable, love him to death. But anyways, going back, like I said, the main topics for today's episode are pretty much going to be, like I said, repetition, building positive habits is a big thing. What that can look like, it kind of varies. I like to think. I think one that I've been trying to focus on a lot recently, because it does help out, I want to say, with mental health and stuff in general, is working out. I like working out. Some days I don't want to go. A lot of days I don't want to go. But I've kind of forced myself to go and to work out, do something, lifting heavy weights. Been a huge, I think in my head, they have been a huge stress reliever. Big way for me to kind of therapy. A lot of people say it like relate going to the gym as therapy, stuff like that, and I can agree with that and attest that it's definitely helped me out in terms of some internal turmoil or rage and stuff like that by going and lifting heavy circles or not circles, but heavy objects and putting them back down in a elegant manner or not so elegant manner. But I enjoy it overall. I think it's something it's crucial too. Like I said, big thing is just healthy, being a healthy guy and whatnot. Trying my best to be a healthy guy. It's hard a lot of days, especially with eating, stuff like that. But letting those habits out can be very beneficial in general. Like I said, long term. And it doesn't be lifting weights. It can be whatever you want it to be. Walking, running, hiking. I liked hiking, which is, I guess, advanced walking, if you want to think about it that way. But I really enjoyed walking, hiking through nature, stuff like that. Not going to get into specifics where I lived or where I grew up and stuff like that, but I will say it was primarily flat. So moving to a place that has mountains was a huge thing for me, and I enjoy very, very much. So for me, that's been like a pretty awesome thing to kind of experience, and actually being able to go through nature and it just not be flat and treeless, devoid of trees, stuff like that. But working out, yoga, stretching, stuff like that, I feel like that's something everybody needs, some type of physical relief in a sense that you can. Put those in there. I'll come back and I'll smell some more. I think what we'll do is we'll get my mining up first, fill this box up, and then we'll come back and we'll get the smithing part done. Kind of like two-parter, give you guys a little break in between, possibly. We'll see how long this video ends up being. But yeah, so positive habits, positive habits are pretty positive, I like to think, from my experience with Lord of the Rings universe. But that's not the point. Positive habits, I feel, definitely can help out. Big one for me that I'm trying to constantly reinforce, and it's probably why you guys are probably going to be seeing this by the time this maybe releases, hopefully this Thursday, when I'm recording it. So we'll see, or this weekend at most, whenever I actually get it done. But is, I don't want to say like forcing myself, but in a way making myself do a lot of processes with content creation or creative outlets that can come across as very mundane, or I don't want to do, for a better lack of term. A big one that bugs me or torments me a lot has to probably be editing. I like editing when I am absolutely in love with a video idea and everything, and pretty much like if I think a video idea is great and I'm rolling with it, I'm feeling it, then something great happens, and I'll create something that just makes me super happy to release and everything like that. But every now and then it's like it starts off, it's a great idea, a great video, everything like that, and then I get tired, working out, whatever, like, just procrastination is probably the best term to utilize for it, where I know I should be finishing or completing that video or editing that video, but I just don't. It's because I lost the interest. It's like a 2 week Minecraft phase. Some people might say, but like I do enjoy the content creation process and just in general being a creative person. Like every now and then I like to draw, even though I am absolutely terrible at drawing, and I mostly do a lot of stick drawings for the most part. But they have a little bit of a character. Some might say that they look pretty cool and everything like that. I'll maybe show some of those drawings that I've made possibly on screen now. We'll see if I feel like it. But yeah, like drawing or, music. I'm not musically inclined at all. I probably sing like a goat. Not like the good goat either. Like one of those screaming goats. You know which ones I'm talking about. But yeah, like that, singing. I listen to a lot of metal music, so a lot of screaming and, hardcore screaming, stuff like that. Really, really helps out. And I feel like that's a pretty positive and healthy habit to have. It's a good stress reliever for me personally. I like to kind of think of it as that way, to where it kind of helps me just, same thing with the gym, just pent up anger or stress from the week or life in general, and being able to put on a good song from some of my favorite post-hardcore metal bands, stuff like that, just really just helps. I feel like in general, just to kind of chill out and just kind of vibe. Like I said, I feel like it's a pretty positive and healthy habit to have for the most part. So definitely recommend it. I mean, it doesn't have to only be that. Of course, it can be whatever music you're into, whatever that might be. Just I like to listen to a lot of, like I said, heavy metal or metalcore, post-hardcore, stuff like that. Alternative music in general. So I will say, but yeah, it's pretty much, like I said, the healthy habits and creative outlets, stuff like that can be pretty cool. I like to think for the most part. And even like playing games, whether or not you can call that a creative outlet, it can be, probably, depending how you express yourself within the game, or just another good way in general to relieve stress. And it can very well be a positive habit, but like most things, too much of a good thing can become a negative thing. So it just kind of depends how you divvy up your time. For me, like I've been noticing, like I love the RuneScape universe. Like playing it. I have a lot of fun playing it, AFKing, or as we're doing now, not AFKing, but idling in an unguided way. See what I did there? Yeah, thank you. I know. I'll be here all month. But pretty much in short, it's just kind of, it depends. Like I really enjoy playing the game, but I find myself not playing the game a lot of times. I just kind of jump on for a little bit, maybe do a task or do something for just kind of a little bit, and then I jump back on, or like, and then I won't touch it for a while and I go play other games, which there's nothing wrong with that. You can dabble. They keep saying it over and over again with a lot of the marketing for the game currently, and it's like kind of both games. It respects your time. It lets you come back whenever you wanted to, and that's the beautiful thing about RuneScape. But for me, like I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of content that I haven't prior to returning to RuneScape. I haven't really experienced or gotten the chance. Well, I've had the chance. I haven't explored what all the game can like offer and done everything. And there's so much to do. It's kind of hard to know where to begin and stuff like that. But I am thinking about doing some semi one-off, not really, probably one-off. I don't want to call it a series because everything's a series nowadays that I keep trying to do, and then I don't do it because, trying to focus and do those things. But in short, what I would like to do is kind of do some laid back videos like this, kind of very Let's Play style, kind of like the early, you would say, like 2010s videos. Thinking like Rad Brad, I think that's his name. Like, hopefully I didn't say that incorrectly. But like, you know, early day PewDiePie, Markiplier, stuff like that, where people just played the game and just happened to not really like they edited it, but it wasn't like too overblown in the edits. Just kind of people enjoying playing the game that they like playing. So I kind of feel like doing that, but for RuneScape, and I know a lot of people do that. And a lot of people are interested in doing that. Heck, you're probably interested in it because you're watching this video, and I appreciate that. But yeah, actually, kind of just sitting there and just playing the game and just kind of experiencing it and just kind of not really going for that vibe. Like kind of these are set up to where we just happen to be playing the game, and if we strike up a conversation about something not related to the game, totally fine, totally cool with that. Or we do, and we just enjoy the game for what it is, or its quirkiness. Because I like kind of want to go back through for a lot of these. Some of the quests that I haven't done myself that are brand new that came out after I stopped playing RuneScape in like RuneScape 3 in 2012, 2011, when I actually like stopped playing it. And I didn't know what was what anymore. So I think it'd be pretty cool to go back through and play those quests and do those quests or do those activities that I may have missed out. I don't think I would, and I'm not gonna say like it's a solid hard no, I wouldn't do it, but ones I kind of think I would maybe stay a little bit further away from would probably have to be a lot of the PVM stuff. As cool as I think it is, and as I give a lot of props to that community and those individuals that are just severely so good at the game that they know everything about it, I don't think I can. Like I said, I'm not gonna say, you know, I'm never gonna do that. Eventually, there's some stuff that I'm gonna want to unlock that's gonna have to take me going and bossing and doing PVM style stuff. Just gonna have to put my big boy pants on and try to beat a boss with my lack of combat skill. But like I said, I want to kind of revisit a lot of that content that I kind of missed out on, and just kind of make some fun little videos about it. And in general, that's kind of like the vibe that I feel like I find myself more and more. Oh my goodness. What is, what? What's happening? I'm not gonna fight y'all. I can't fight y'all. Y'all are like, what? Should I? Is this gonna like divert into another random, into a quest of randomness now? Like, what? I've never seen this. This has never happened before. Who are you and what are you doing here? Give me your stuff. You know, I don't think I will. We is raiding, so give me your stuff or I'll stick your in the gizzards. Hey, you can't talk to me like that. Give me your stuff or shove off. I guess I'm shoving off because I can't fight you. I'm not gonna fight y'all. For one, okay. I'm a pacifist. Thank you very much. Respect my skilling. I have never seen this happen before. Heard that's it. Are they gonna attack me? Like I mean, these guys are bullies. They're like a lot higher level than I am. It's kind of, this has never happened before when I've been mining. What? Did somebody explain to me what's happening? I've never seen this before. I'm like scared. I don't know if they're gonna beat me up for all of my rocks. These are my rocks. Can't have them. Mine, dude. But I lost train of thought. Yeah, so those are kind of the videos I guess I can kind of trying to aspire to make. And the skits, I do enjoy making the skits. Those are a lot of fun. They're not super hard. It's mostly like it's flexing that storytelling muscle, which I'm trying to do it like with this series and that, and just kind of just have fun making short stuff, like short little skits that I remember like from growing up. And I think like most RuneScape creators, I can't speak for all of them, but like most RuneScape creators or most RuneScape players were heavily inspired by Tanoob Show or There's another one. I forget his name, but yeah, creators like that from back then that just had these amazingly well edited videos that just were so silly and so goofy for the time, but so well done. And I wouldn't even say like they were like silly and goofy in a bad way. Like they were just hilarious to watch. Like my favorite was Gods Exposed or the Bandos Brothers skits. I thought all that stuff was just comedy gold and was amazing to watch. And I had an absolute blast growing up and watching that as a kid. So for me, that was like pretty cool stuff to experience, I like to say. And I kind of want to redo that. I'm not going to copy it, of course. I can't. You can't replicate that. You can come close to it. But like, kind of just, that's like inspiration for like silly little skits within the world of Gilnor and the world within RuneScape of just poking fun at little things like what I did with the guards at Varrock. And there's probably more stuff I can do there where it's just kind of fun. Hey, they've never been updated in all the years since they've been introduced to as being the guards of the Eastgate, and they've just kind of, like been there, stuck in 2009 clothes and stuff like that. They just have not been updated, while like all the other guards have been updated. Or another one like the Dark Wizards, no longer that entire area in front of Varrock really a thing that's used anymore for anything. It's not part of the Demon Slayer quest. You gotta go somewhere else for that now. And they're just kind of hanging out there. They don't have a job anymore. So like I find that stuff just funny to poke fun of. There's some other stuff like that I want to like point at and it's all in good fun. None of it is supposed to like, what's the word I'm looking, like badger Jagex in like a negative way. I'm gonna drop this due to like symmetry because that's gonna anger me. I know that's like as an Iron Man that's like sacrilege because I'm wasting resources, but like that was gonna anger me in terms of like symmetry. Yeah, I got some OCD in that. But anyways, so like none of it's supposed to like badger Jagex in any way, and like it's just supposed to make fun and make light of some stuff that's just, it's kind of funny to look at and be like, this hasn't been updated. Like, you guys know that, right? So like, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's supposed to be like funny, and I think it is for the most part. Like, for the reception on those two skits and even episode 1, I haven't gotten into that yet. Like, holy crap! Thank you guys so much for the absolute love and support that you guys have shown on episode 1 of this series and just in general in the last videos. I will forever say it every chance that I get. I'm forever grateful for everybody who watches, everybody who likes, comments, whatever the case may be. I try to respond to all of them. I know eventually I probably will miss a few, but I try to respond to everybody's comments if they are within rhyme and reason and not just rooted in absolute hate for no reason. But I try to respond and just kind of leave a positive note. Thank you for watching, whatever the case may be. Whether I agree with your comment or not, that's just whatever. But like I said, the amount of support that you guys have shown me has just been absolutely amazing. I am forever grateful for just the opportunity to make videos for you guys. And I hope that I continue to, I hope I am able to continue making videos that will make you laugh and that you guys will enjoy throughout my courses doing this stuff. So it's just fun. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and stuff like that. But transitioning a little bit in terms of, I guess, topics and whatnot. One of the comments that were left on the other one kind of, drew my eye, and I did leave a comment on responding to it for the most part, where I guess diving into a little bit of that, more of that mental health portion. Like I said, I am not an expert, do not claim to be an expert, and probably never will be an expert for being 1000% honest here when it comes to that. But one thing like that was said was like, not everybody will see things through, or I'm trying to remember the exact verbiage that was used within that I'm also like waving hair out of my nose because petting Leonardo. But one of the things that was said, like, not everybody can. I'm really blanking on what that comment had said. Yeah, like, it didn't bug me, but it was kind of like, you know, like, I'm trying to remember. Let me see if I can. Let me pull it up. I have my iPad right here. I just yes, that things do not get better for everyone. Now, like I said in that video, depends on the situation. There is some stuff that is out there that that person is 1000% correct. Where sometimes, yeah, we can't go past everything, or like we're not gonna beat everything. Sometimes. But on the backside of that, I guess you could say, or on the flip side, whatever verbiage you would like to use. In short, I like to think that dog hair. I like to think that it's okay to have a positive mindset, regardless of the situation, and to just kind of spread positive vibes and spread hope core. Let me tell you about hope core. I love hope core. It is probably one of my favorite things that has just became a thing in general, because it's, I'm gonna open these geodes and then I'm going to put this in the bank, and then we'll come back here and we'll start smelting. Hopefully we'll get to level 15 smithing with that. Sorry, I had dog hair in my mouth. Not great. But I love hope core, and in case you guys don't know what hope core is, it's pretty much like, think of like the most uplifting music, and it could be RuneScape music, whatever music you want it to be, and it just videos that just inspire you to want to be a better human being, be a better person, or just inspire you to just kind of get through life. If that makes sense. Like, just kind of push forward. And I love those videos so much, dude. They're so well done. And they do what they set out to do, which is inspire. And it's just one of the most incredible things to come out. And the reason I bring up Hope Core, one of my favorite movies that came out last year that I ended up watching later on, and its soundtrack always just, it's such a great soundtrack, is the Superman 2025 movie that released. That was so well done. I loved it. And it just, you know, like, so many people like said it inspired them to become a better person. And, you know, maybe it is punk rock to be kind. And that just, that spoke volumes to me in so many ways, as a person going through a tough time, or just in general, just wanting to always try to put my best foot forward and to try and be a decent person. And, you know, I'm not perfect, so definitely gonna make mistakes and stuff like that, but just seeing Hope Core be a thing is so cool to me, in general. So if you are creating Hope Core, please keep making it. You are incredible. I love you for doing it. You are absolutely an amazing person, and please continue making more. But yeah, that's like one of the things, and I guess that kind of goes into the other topic I guess I kind of wanted to touch base on a little bit. A lot of this is rambling, so hopefully, and I'm gonna go back through some of the comments that I did get from you guys that I did respond to, but I'll respond to on here as well, so you guys can kind of get into that. Like I said, let me know in the comments if there are some questions or some topics that you guys want to talk about while we do these little videos where I just skill randomly and just happen to just talk about random stuff. So let me know in the comments down below if there are anything specifically. One thing I will say, we don't And it's the same thing when I do stream. So no politics. That is the one thing I will not respond to. So please keep that in mind. But other than that, wise, yeah, like music. Sitting down and actually listening to RuneScape's soundtrack is so good. And I know they redid it for, like, they've redone a lot of the original tune, if that's what, I think, if I'm using the correct terminology here. I know they went back, they redid a lot of the chiptune stuff, and it came out, they did like orchestral pieces of it, and it came out so good. Like, the amount of, they're familiar, but at the same time, and if you haven't, of course, if you're playing the game, I mean, a lot of people probably just play without the music on, but like, if you haven't listened to the soundtrack, the latest, like the orchestral soundtrack of RuneScape, you need to. It is so good. And like, it is stupid good. It's so good that I may have, or may have not, purchased the vinyl collection that's like super expensive. Yeah. But it's so good, like I bought that. It's just and it inspires like so much wonder and so much adventure. And I guess like another term you could use is like whimsy. It inspires so much whimsy and like wanting to be a whimsical person and stuff like that. It is so well done. Like, I love it so much. That caveats into also, I absolutely love Dragon Wilds, their soundtrack. I've said it numerous times to where, bro, I'm telling you, like, their soundtrack is so good. Like, it's just ridiculous how good it is. And I just, oh God, I love it. I love it so much. All right, this is the one efficient thing that we're gonna do, because I know how much bronze plate bodies actually give you an XP. And it's also oh, is it shields? Is it shields now? Is shields the method? No, it's definitely bronze plate bodies. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like I was saying, like, Dragon Wild's music is so well done. I need to go back and actually like play it and beat it at some point. It's a hard thing about buying new games nowadays. It's just like, it's like so hard to like want to buy new games, because I know like deep down I'm probably not gonna finish it. Usually, half the time. And so like, I don't want to spend money on stuff that I know I'm not going to finish or complete. So a lot of times it's harder for me to want to buy those games and stuff like that, just because, like I said, I know deep down maybe I won't finish it. It has to be something I'm already like passionate into, or like previous games of, whatever the case may be. One thing I'm gonna bring it up a bazillion times in this series. Halo. I love Halo. I will forever play Halo. It is one of my favorite games, just series out there. And I know the state of it is very questionable at the moment, and I'm hoping they pull through like RuneScape's pulling through, and they provide us with a banger with Halo 7. Fingers crossed. One can hope, one can dream. I'm very hopeful that they can do it, and I feel like they can. I feel like they're gonna do it. I don't know. I keep saying it, and I've said it a few times, like in some older streams. Eventually we'll do live streams again. That'll be a thing again. It's just whenever I find like it's time to return to those. But one thing I would always say is, like, I feel like the gaming industry, kind of, for the most part, is kind of entering its, I don't know what you would call it, its platinum age, its silver age. I feel like we got past the golden age originally. Now we're entering the silver age, or like I said, I don't know what you want to exactly call it, but whatever comes after, I would say platinum, right? That would be that would make the most sense after gold, because you have to like break it down into like each specific era of video games, and like things dropped off and things came back. I feel like the silver era was like the Atari and the Super Nintendo, stuff like that, during that era that came out, and then there was that hard decline afterwards where it fell off and games were unpopular, and because the quality was just going downhill for whatever reason. and then it came back up because after the Atari had failed and ET, if you know about ET, how that failed and that wasn't great and stuff like that. Well, I feel like after that, it was pretty much like, okay, then we entered the Gold Age, or whatever you would like to refer to. We could also say like the Atari, like it's not putting disrespect towards it. It's just saying how rudimentary back then was in terms of gaming. You could actually consider arcades probably the Bronze Age. And it's not trying to be like disrespectful towards that era of games. It's half the reason why we're playing video games today is because of those arcade machines. It's just kind of like, you know, ranking it in an era or putting it in a certain era time frame. And I feel like those are probably the Bronze Age, and then the Silver Age was like the first console war, and then the second console war with Super Nintendo and Sega and PlayStation was probably like the Golden Age, and that probably ended. If I had to put when the decline / like when the climax of the Golden Age kind of peaked and when it was kind of coming out was probably Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. I feel like that was kind of like the peak, and then like Xbox One and PlayStation 4 were kind of like, this is pretty cool, and the Switch was like, all right, this is pretty cool, but it wasn't like anything that was like, you know, hit home about anything like to really like say like, oh, this is, you know, the graphics, everything improved, but like it kind of, that's when you kind of felt like the corporate greed and whatnot definitely started hitting around that time frame, and just kind of like gaming just got really ugly, and just it was fun, but it was also like kind of not fun. You know, we got some hits here and there in between that time period and whatnot. That was pretty cool, but like I said, for the most part, definitely, I would say that was probably the Golden Age. And like most things that comes in waves, or you know, as the saying goes, this too shall pass. From there, it was pretty much like, all right, the decline happened, and interest kind of went down, and you had Fortnite and a couple other games that kind of revitalized the industry a little bit, and you know, kind of introducing things, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2019, to speak of some games that, like now, like in I'd say from it's hard because you also have like banger games like God of War and like Spider-Man and a couple other games like that were like that came out during that towards the end of the golden era, as I would, if I'm, like I said, if I'm putting a theoretical name on it and everything like that, then I would say like that was towards the end of the golden era, was like those games. But like I said, I still think the peak was like Xbox 360, and then it just went down from there. But like now we're like starting to get like amazing games again. You know, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. Haven't played it. Looks phenomenal. Story probably like break my little heart and everything like that, because it's probably like one of the most amazing I've heard in one game of the year. And like that, it was one of the most amazing series. We have all these Elden Ring games coming out. Not a fan of those Souls-like games, but they're banging every single each time. I mean, the Resident Evil games, like, I just feel like we're starting to head back in that direction. And even like indie games that are phenomenal and just coming out with absolute just funny, fun, whether they be like super goofy or super well, amazingly I mean, you can technically consider Clair Obscur Expedition 33 as a indie game per se, and stuff like that. And we're just getting these banger titles and these banger ideas that are coming back out, and stuff like that. Like, it's just so cool to see that. And then with the revitalization of like old school RuneScape, that being coming on the up, and that being in its golden era and heading strong, and even RuneScape now, RuneScape 3, that coming into, I feel like I said, gaming just feels like it's heading into that platinum age, and I feel like that's a stance I'm gonna firmly stand on and take, and whether or not it's a hot take or a lukewarm take, I don't know what you want to name it. I know we've had some duds. We're always gonna have some duds here and there, but like seeing that and seeing, you know, like I said, with RuneScape's revitalization and its whole road to restoration idea and everything like that, is such an amazing thing to see. And not only like RuneScape, like I said, you know, there's so many games that are making a comeback and so many things. So to me, it just feels cool seeing that, being a gamer who's played games for so long and stuff like that. So for me, it's super cool. I know I always say super cool. I don't have that broad of a vocabulary. Every now and then I know some big words, not sometimes. So I try my best where I can. But like I said, I feel like that would be cool. But like, you know, you had like, it's just cool. There's probably better words. There's somebody teach me a better word to use other than cool. But it's an amazing thing to see, just like games return. And I know I brought it up a lot last episode, and I'm probably gonna always bring it up because it's super nice to see. But I feel like a lot of that starts with, like I said, positive habits, positive reinforcement, and wanting to make things better because you know that you can and you have that power. And sometimes it's hard to find that power. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to realize that you can do these amazing feats. And I feel like that's what Jagex kind of discovered with RuneScape 3. Is like, we can rechange this. We can make this into a thing that people want to play again and people want to experience for the first time, or experience again for the first time, and build this incredible world again and restore it back to the awesome thing that we all loved from back then, and build upon that in a positive way. They were able to do that with RuneScape, or old school RuneScape. So just saying, you know, I feel like we're heading in that direction. So those are my topics. Like I said, the main thing is just keep trying to build those positive habits, find out which ones work for you. I know a lot of people say waking up every morning and immediately writing down or saying 3 things that you're grateful for every morning, or starting your day with, you know, a light walk, whatever the case may be, something to get your body moving, something positive, drinking water, whatever the case may be, you know, just something to help start your day on a positive note. I know I still have a lot of work to do when it comes to doing that. I run late a lot of times and stuff like that. So that's something I'm still very much working on, but just overall habits that will better your life. Try to focus on them. There's still some stuff I do, like, you know, drinking caffeine. Probably not the greatest, but I feel like I need it to function throughout the day, stuff like that. So yeah. But let's get into some of the comments that you guys had left on the previous video. So that way we can, like I said, we can kind of get you guys start putting maybe some more comments about some stuff in those. I don't know what the question is going to be this time. I guess, what is your favorite Taco Bell menu item? Mine's probably the Crunchwrap Supreme. That's some elite tier stuff right there, I'd have to say. So going into some of the I already read one of them, kind of showed you one of them about things not getting better, stuff like that, and about the series question. So, but we'll go on to one of them. This one comes from Nickman287. Vegetarian pizza with extra bacon is the way to go, brother. Now, I feel like that kind of defeats. Yeah, I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of a vegetarian pizza. I don't know. Maybe I'll look into it. I'm not a fan of all vegetables. Onions, not a big fan. I don't think an olive is a vegetable, but definitely not a fan of black olives or olives in general. Maybe. Yeah, just hard pass on those, but yeah. Anyways, another one. Non-Hawaiian pizza with pineapple is the best pizza. So what I kind of imagine, this what comment comes from Courageous Melon 5654. I kind of feel like this one is like you put, I guess like a typical Hawaiian pizza would be Hawaiian, you know, would be Hawaiian, maybe pineapple with like ham. But I feel like what he's gearing towards here would be more of like a pepperoni pizza with pineapple, or a, I don't know, like whatever topping with pineapple. That's what it is in my head. Would make sense. But I guess, yeah. So I think I've tried pineapple with pepperoni. And I think it was pretty good, if I remember correctly. Because the sweet, you know, the savoriness of the pepperoni, thought, you know, fantastic. So, yeah, I'd give that a go. I'd give that a go. And then you also say I miss playing RS3, Max 99 Hardcore Iron Man in 1.5 year. It was so much more fun than maxing normally in OSRS, which I am doing now for about assuming 1.5 to 2 years. RS3 just needs to drop a 06 tick system and it will be way more alive. Now, I know nothing about the tick system, and I realized we ran out of bronze plate bodies, so we're gonna have to go make a run for more bronze. So, unless I can make more in the forge. Nope, I only have like 4 bars. It's definitely not gonna be enough, so we gotta go on a quick another mining run, and then we'll probably like finish the. I'm definitely gonna have to like sell all these or something like that, or I don't know what I'm gonna do with all of those. It's kind of useless towards me. You really think about it being me being a whole pacifist or whatever. But anyways, like I was saying, going back to staying on topic, I know nothing about the tick system, and maybe eventually I'll have a desire to learn about it. I know there is like technically a tick system in RS3, but it's just not as heavily exploited or heavily explained. Maybe, and I could be wrong. PVMers, please correct me if I am wrong. I'll allow it. But yeah. So like, I don't know if it's like they're, you know, yeah. I don't know much about it, but I'm gonna take your word for it because you're trying to max on both games and you are courageous for trying to do that. So yeah, I give you lots of credit. But anyways, this one comes from Mintcake6895, which is RS3 is the way to go, brother. Which was a follow up to OSRS is the way to go, brother, by Macroni. I say that right? Macroni Buffoon. Fantastic name. 10 out of 10. Let me tell you. Love it. For one. Yeah, you just slayed with that name. So fantastic work there. But and which was also somebody else had also caveated or had grabbed onto that. This one is by, I'm gonna butcher the absolute living heck out of this name here. I have to zoom in, so if I turn away from the mic, that's why. Give me a second. Ferulius, I'm Vita. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I apologize. Who followed that up with Brighter Shores is the way to go, brother. I've not tried that one out. I know Andrew Gowers had created that game, and it's a very similar to RuneScape. It's not RuneScape, in case you didn't know that. But yeah, Brighter Shores is the way to go, which I'm pretty sure that game might be dead. I don't know. We'll put that on screen whenever we find that, if we find that out after this video. And then we also had Sonic L Immortal. Sorry if I also pronounced that. WoW is the way to go, brother. Have never played WoW. And I put that in that comment as well, or when I replied to that. I've never played WoW. I've only watched probably like a handful of WoW videos in my lifetime, and it seems pretty complicated to get into. I'm not gonna lie to you, so I don't know if it would be necessarily a game for me, but never say never, as like I've said a couple times here. But yeah, and then that was followed up. I think that was pretty much the ending of those. Excuse me, ending of those questions, and then we also had Gigawatt 56. Excited to see your RS3 journey. Good luck. I replied to that saying this is not my first rodeo. But I haven't really maxed out my main account, so yeah. So, but regardless, thanks. I appreciate it. We'll try to make you proud. Try to make you proud, and hopefully do good by that. And then another one, pizza topping. This was by Lord Darkrai 2000. Who has been a subscriber for a while, I believe. Could be wrong. But pizza topping, banana peppers. Banana peppers do go pretty hard. I have had those on a pizza or on a sandwich. Those do go respectively very hard when it comes as a pizza topping. If you guys are wanting to know what my preferred pizza topping is, typically I will get chicken, extra chicken, because they always skimp out on it, and it pains me to ever living. It just pains me, but they will skimp out on the chicken, so you have to request extra. And I'll kind of just throw in like a combination meat in there half the time, so like either Italian sausage or pepperoni or bacon, just kind of whatever I'm feeling. But not like, it's not supposed to be like a honey barbecue chicken scenario or anything like that. It's quite literally just, I just really like chicken, so on pizza I think it tastes really good. And yeah, so that is my go-to order typically when I partake in getting a pizza. And yeah, like I said, my favorite Taco Bell menu item is probably, like I said, the Crunchwrap Supreme. I am a loyal Taco Bell fan. If you made it this far into the video, kudos to you. We're now talking about Taco Bell, which is one of my favorite topics to discuss. I love it. And as a Mexican American, I don't care that it's not Mexican food. It is delicious. And sure, the ingredients may not be premium. It's not, you know, the bougie fast food equivalent, which would, I guess, maybe be Chipotle. And I like Chipotle too. But sure, it's not any of those things. But let me tell you, it's some banging food, dude. Like, it's good for what it's cheap for the most part, depending on how much you order. Unless if you're like fat like me, then it can instantly not be cheap. But you know, it's cheap. You get a lot of food for the price, and you know what you're gonna get. Like, you know that it's gonna smack. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just know. You know these things. And so, shout out to Taco Bell. You are an amazing creation. And one of these days I will own one of your merch items, because that's how much I love you. And stuff like that. So that is enough of well, I mean, I guess we'll yeah. Well, that's another question too with Taco Bell item. I guess we're just asking. Now I'm asking you guys questions, and I expect you guys to respond in the comments. And if you don't, then nothing's probably gonna happen. But you know, regardless, I would appreciate it if you did reply to me. That'd be pretty nice. Anyways, yeah. So what is your go-to fast food restaurant? And if anybody says Arby's in the comments, I'm gonna be pretty disappointed. I'm not going to front with you, as the kids might say. I might be like actually like pretty disheartened if I hear, dude, I love I love Arby's. Yeah. I might be a little disheartened there, but if you do, I'm not gonna try to judge too hard. Just a little hard, a tiny bit, because there are so much better options out there, and I don't know why you would do that to yourself. But if you do, that's fair. Is Quiznos even a thing anymore? I know I have technology at my fingertips and I can easily search this up. I'm just choosing not to, because I'm trying to get this last level here. But yeah, is Quiznos even a thing anymore? I mean, can anybody attest to that they're still alive, that they're still rolling, or anything like that? Because I don't think I've heard anything from them. I think they've been pretty quiet. I guess you could say they've been pretty. They have not let their ops know what they are doing. So if anybody can answer that, I'll probably look it up after this video. But yeah, is Quiznos still around, or did they die? Are they done with like being a thing? So I can't say I've ever had them, but I'm sure they were amazing at the time. Maybe I probably liked them. I will like them. Maybe. I doubt it, but you never know. You never know. So. But yeah, no. Yeah. let me know. What like, yeah, that's all I would really say is just, well, what is your favorite? And then, well, like, what do you get there? I guess maybe if it's Arby's, I'm not going. I'm telling you it now. If it's Arby's, I'm not going. Or Crystal, if you have one of those. I'm not going to Crystal or Arby's. There are a few. There are a few banned fast food places on my list that I won't touch with a 10-foot pole, or for just health reasons. I think it's just not worth it to me, personally. So, not putting my body, not putting myself through that, frankly. So, but you know, I'm just saying. If it's anything else, maybe I'll give it a shot. I'm not gonna make any guarantees to you. Other than, yeah, I'm just not gonna make any guarantees that I'm gonna go and try that place out. But it'd be cool to find out what you're interested in. So, and no, the Arby's hate isn't forced. It's valid. Thank you very much. I think the only good item that Arby's has, per se, is probably their curly fries. I think that is the only thing they got going for them. And that's a hill I'm willing to die on. So, yeah, just kind of keep that in mind if you're typing in the comments right now that you should try Arby's. No, I'm not going. I'm not going. But if you do eat at Arby's, I have one question for you. Have you had their steak nuggets, and are they actually any good? That would be my one question for you Arby's fans out there, if you've done that to yourself. So, like, I can't fully talk, because, you know, Taco Bell does chicken nuggets, and why is Taco Bell doing chicken nuggets or chicken strips? But it's pretty good, man. Let me tell you, not bad, not bad, especially in a taco. Not bad, not bad. I think that's something that Taco Bell needs to bring back. And I'm sorry for making you hungry throughout this video. I do apologize, but one thing that Taco Bell needs to bring back, or like that I think of, is the XXL steak burrito. Ugh, let me tell you, love that thing. Growing up, you want to talk about something that kept you fed, kept your belly warm. You buy one of those. Sure, it was expensive. It was pretty expensive for the combo. I'd probably say about like $10, somewhere around there for the combo. Throwing a Doritos Locos taco in there, brother. I'd be good. I'd be set. That'd be my dinner. I'd be like, all right, man. Life's good. Life's good. Could have the worst day. End it with a XXL steak burrito. Life's good, brother. I got no qualls and no problems. But I'm just saying, like, Taco Bell, you stumble across this video somehow, some way. Don't know how you're gonna do that, but if you somehow did, please bring back the XXL steak burrito. I would be eternally grateful to you, and I'm sure there's another Taco Bell fan out there that would also greatly appreciate you doing that. We're so close, dude. Okay, can I make anything else that might just get me over the edge? I don't think so. Do not think so. Bad. Not looking good, guys. Yeah, everything's like not good. I don't want to go do another run. I know we said we had to get to level 15, so we gotta do one more run before it's done. So let me go do that, I guess. This is gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a very long episode. If you're watching this in parts, shout out to you. I appreciate you very, very much for sticking through this very random I don't want Unguided. But I guess that's the point of this. Just kind of just have fun and just play the game and make very silly decisions on things that don't really, yeah, I don't know. Here we are, mining. I don't need much. I don't think so. it's a bummer that I ran out. Like, not very cash money of me to run out of ore like that. But we're gonna make it work. Because I promise you we at least get to level 15. And then eventually I'll make a iron axe probably in between episodes or whatever, so we can keep woodcutting or get that caught up or whatever the case may be. But also let me know what skill you guys want me to do next. That's free, of course. It's a free skill. You guys want to let me know in the comments. That'd be greatly appreciated. I'm thinking probably like fishing or cooking probably be pretty cool to do next. Those are, or maybe crafting. I get like woodcutting to like level 20 and then like do get crafting level 15 maybe, possibly. That could be, it'd be pretty swell. So let me know in the comments if there's a certain skill you guys would want me to partake in, possibly. And I'll probably just do it because like I said, I'm trying to play the game more, trying to enjoy the game more and stuff like that. So this should be it though. This should be the last. I was already trying to like, dude, you need to make iron. And I'm like, no, dude, make what I want. Are you serious? Do I not still have 5 bronze bars? Hold on. There we go. What about to flip out, brother? All right, this should be it. This is gonna be it. Ignore how this only is gonna give me 75 XP. Just ignore that piece of information. This is going to skyrocket me to the level I need to be, and we're all gonna be happy and joyous about it. And if it doesn't, I'm gonna be pretty upset. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I feel like it's not. It's not. It's most definitely not gonna do it. Oh my god, I need one more. Bro. This is the most nonsensical, like, thing. I came very ill prepared. And I'm pretty sure all of you saw that coming. It's the most inefficient, like, gameplay out there. Oh no. It's okay. It's okay. We'll be fine. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna mine enough for one more plate body. We're gonna be fine. So we just need 5. And everything's gonna be alright. Okay. Little grasshopper. It's gonna be alright. And we'll probably just, we're not gonna cut any of this. Like a lot of this stuff will be like minimal cuts. And I got too much. No, dude, I didn't want that much. Why does it do that with copper? Why is it gonna be more than I want? I just needed 5. I didn't need 6. I didn't need that much, dude. All right, we're good. That should be enough. That should be enough for one plate body. And then we're gonna get to level 15, and we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up, and everybody's gonna celebrate how inefficient I am. Oh my goodness, dude. It's rough out here. It's rough out here on these streets, brother. It's rough being idle and unguided. I might say like you're forcing this pain upon yourself. Setting these silly goals. I say nay. I say I'm doing exactly what I did as a kid. No idea what I'm doing. And I think that's the fun of it. It's just I have no clue. And there's probably like some other like you need to watch the guide on how to best properly level your skills, and you're not doing that. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm not. But who's having fun? Me. Alright, it's gonna be it. It's gonna be huge. We're literally gonna get this. We're gonna get this, and the video is gonna end. It's gonna be like a huge explosion. So during this time, you better leave a like. You better subscribe. And you better comment what your favorite Taco Bell item is. I know I've said it 1,000 times, but you better do it. And just like that, the video ends. Why are you still here? No, but all seriously, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been an absolute blast, hanging and talking about random nonsensical topics and stuff like that. So we'll definitely catch you guys on the next video, probably next month at some point. Be on the lookout for some more shorts, some more skits and stuff like that. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Have fun, be safe, and we'll see you guys later. Bye. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have the birthday boy himself and his now grilled sandwich with extra pickles for the birthday boy. Leonardo, you wanna come over here and sit down, please? I say good boys.